Hello everyone and welcome to the channel.
Today we're going to show you how to activate and create your very own water kefir using the Kefirko starter kit.
At the end, we will also give you our review of whether this kit is worth it and how easy it is to use.
Now you may be wondering, what is water kefir and what are its benefits?
Well, kefir is a fermented drink that is made using kefir grains and then combining them with water.
Now, kefir grains aren't your typical grain like wheat and barley. They are a living symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, which is similar to a SCOBY that you may have seen or heard of in kombucha.
Now, studies have shown that drinking kefir has amazing health benefits such as supporting your immune system, aiding your digestive system, as well as improving bone health, your gut biome, and many more.
So we bought this water kefir starter pack from Kefirko and it comes with quite a few bits and pieces.
Now you have two options with the kit. You can purchase a small or a large kefir jar. The small is 900 millilitres and we opted for the large, which comes in at 1.4 litres.
The jar itself also has a two-piece lid which has a strainer and a top lid. This allows you to strain your fluid from the grains and also to eliminate any fermentation gases, as well as preventing contaminants from entering the jar.
You also get a slotted spoon which is used for scooping out your grains,
as well as a juicer attachment which is used for adding juice for flavouring during your second fermentation.
Then we also have the scraper. Now this fits onto the lid of the jar and it's used for mixing the kefir grains during the straining process.
Now it's also worth mentioning that all of the components are in fact bioplastic and made from organic material, making it environmentally friendly.
You also get a helpful kefir booklet which gives you tips, recipes and instructions for creating your first ferment.
Then finally, the important part, we have the grains themselves.
Now let's get started on the activation process.
The first thing you want to do is wash everything that came out of the box with hot soapy water and then ensure that everything is fully dry.
Next, you need to grab your jar and add 30 grams of unrefined sugar and then add 300 millilitres of non-chlorinated water and then stir until the sugar is fully dissolved.
After this, add your grains to your sugar water mix and ferment at 20 to 24 degrees Celsius for 3 to 4 days.
After the 3 to 4 days, grab yourself a fine mesh sieve and then strain your grains and discard the liquid.
Then repeat the first 2 steps 5 to 7 times until you see signs of activity. This is to be done for 2 days only and not the original 3 to 4 days.
After the 5 to 7 refeeds, you should start to see signs that the grains have been activated. Look for things such as bubbling.
The recommended ratio for making water kefir is 1 to 1 to 20, meaning for every 1 gram of grains, you add 1 gram of sugar and 20 millilitres of water.
For the actual making of the recipe, we use 30 grams of activated grains with 30 grams of sugar and then 600 millilitres of water. You're also going to need to add a piece of dried fruit or a slice of lemon.
Over time, the grains will grow and multiply, which will allow you to ferment a lot quicker and create bigger batches.
Or potentially you could share your grains with any friends and family that are looking to make their own kefir, or you could even add them to a smoothie.
Next, we ferment this for 24 to 48 hours at room temperature, after which we strain the grains and we can now use them for a new batch.
The water kefir that we have obtained is now ready to either consume or use for a second ferment.
If you don't like the taste of plain water kefir, at the second fermentation stage, feel free to add some fruit of your choice or a fruit syrup to flavour your batch.
Once you're satisfied with your batch and you've placed it in your fridge, it will keep for up to 7 days and it will continue to ferment, but at a much slower rate.
Now, here are some things you may want to be aware of with your water kefir batch.
Now, if you would like to add honey to sweeten your kefir, this needs to be done right before you consume, as the honey has antibacterial properties and will therefore eat away at all the good bacteria that you've worked so hard to create inside of your kefir.
You can add minerals to your water if you're using filtered water by replacing part of the sugar with unrefined sugar or using pieces of dried fruit like figs, raisins or ginger for example, or even adding a small amount of lemon juice or baking soda.
Now be careful not to add too many minerals as this can turn your grains mushy.
And if you want more bubbles in your kefir, Simply add in your additional minerals and close the lid completely during the fermentation process.
And if you wanted to take a break or have some extra water kefir grains, you can also store them for up to 7 to 14 days in the fridge in a small amount of sugar water solution.
So, what do we think of our Kefirko water kefir starter kit?
Well, we think this is an absolutely great kit for someone who is new to creating kefir for the first time, and at $44.99 for the large and $39.99 for the small, it's pretty good value for money.
Now, if you wanted to save yourself some money, you could just buy the dehydrated water kefir grains separately and use a jar you already have at home for creating your batch.
Now, in terms of a negative point, this does require a lot of discipline and patience, as it can be quite tedious to remember to constantly feed your grains day after day during that activation stage, as we certainly forgot ourselves quite a few times.
If you want to purchase your own water kefir kit by Kefirko, check out the link in our description. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a comment down below and subscribe.
Thanks for tagging along, and we'll see you again on the next one.